Hey guys, Ghost AY coming in real quick just to record a little intro. So if you're subscribed to the channel, you might have seen the shorts for this episode a while back. And I've been struggling with our Lord and Savior GameCube to upload it due to copyright stuff. So if you're watching it now, it's because I finally was able to crack down on it. And that's going to be the main reason why there's going to be less footage of the movie and more stills. So if it looks a little funky, it's because of that. I tried my best to still maintain some imagery for the movie. So I just wanted to hop in here and give you guys a little explanation because of that. And while I have you guys here, make sure you head on down there, like, comment, and subscribe. You know, all that YouTube stuff. I also take this time real quick to say thank you to you guys for those who've been sticking around and watching us for a while now. Make sure you stick around even more. We got more bigger and better stuff coming down the pipeline. So yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let's get on with the show. Welcome to the list. This is show we pluck our name out of our all-time movie watches, watch it, and review it for your viewing pleasure. The movie we're scratching off the list today is the 2004 Van Helsing. A famed monster hunter is sent to Transylvania to stop Count Dracula, who is using Dr. Frankenstein's research and a werewolf for nefarious purposes. This movie is not damn near. It is 20 years old now. And I've never seen it before.
Really?
Yep.
I watched it in the movie theater back in the day.
Well, what's stupid on my part is that my dad owned it, but I just never cared.
Oh my miss. Dude, Kate Beckinsale, I fell in love with her with Underworld, the first one. Then I see her in here and I'm like, oh, what is happening? Where is this blood coming from? And where is it going through?
Even at 13, especially at 13. Before we take a deep dive into Van Helsing, make sure you head on down there. Let us know your perspective, anything you love and hate from the 2004 Van Helsing. While you're down there, if you can like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be great. Let's jump into the movie. We start in black and white, where the village is coming for good old Frankenstein. We see an obvious bad guy in Dracula, and shit starts going down. The monster ends up saving Frankenstein after Igor betrays him for the monies, that bastard. Igor was actually written specifically for Kevin J. O'Connor, who is one of Summers, the director, Stephen Summers, his compa, his friend.
But you know who his compa is?
He looks familiar.
Pinchy Benny from The Mummy.
Oh, well, Stephen Summers also directed The Mummy.
See, ya sé, güey.
That also makes sense. He looked familiar, but I was like, he looks like but I don't know where I've seen him before. Yeah, The Mummy. Es el pendejo del Benny.
But it dawned on me since we rewatched The Mummy, way, which you could also watch here.
Hell yeah. There was also some moment where Dracula gets some stuff on his face and he had to like regenerate through CGI.
Oh, he got burned, way.
That looked kind of foul though.
Oh, the CGI here is terrible.
Not all of it. I'm not going to say all of it. That bit specifically for right now, yeah. The Frankenstein monster blows up with his daddy.
He carried Frankenstein from the castle to the windmill.
Yeah, and the windmill just goes up in flames.
Yeah.
And Dracula wants Frankie for some reason.
The rar Frankie.
So a year later goes by and Van Helsing, our main protagonist, is in Paris. And he's wanted because he had hard killing people. He does fit. I like his hair, which was like mostly extensions, but yeah.
Thanks to this, we got the horrible wig on X-Men 2.
But he fits the part. I liked him. I buy it.
Totally, but and he's like gruff. He's not refined at all. He just goes there to do his job. That's it.
And as he's walking around the streets of Paris, he finds a murdered lady, and then all of a sudden he finds what appears to be Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but at this particular moment, it was Mr. Hyde. This CGI looked okay for the time.
I thought it looked pretty good.
The model of Hyde was actually based off of Andre the Giant.
Oh, no wonder the face would look familiar.
Playing the role of Mr. Hyde was good old pal Robbie Coltrane. Rest in peace, Hagrid.
You're the great Van Helsing.
Pretty fun fight right here in the beginning. I liked all the gadgets he kept popping out to deal with this stuff. I like how he was like jumping up around his surroundings. It was fun, entertaining.
It was dynamic.
Yeah, it was really dynamic for this whole part. But eventually the doctor dies. And I really, really, really love Van Helsing dropping a Requiescat in Pace. Shout outs to Assassin's Creed. I love that.
Neta.
Requiescat in Pace.
Well, he starts to show signs that he's feeling bad for hunting all these creatures because he's supposed to catch them, but he ends up killing them, and that basically becomes his reputation throughout the whole movie.
Is it really his fault, or he's just trying to be diplomatic? The bad guys being bad guys don't want to get caught, and they do some sick ass gangster shit and then get killed because of that.
Well, he's not trying to kill.
Yeah, he's not trying to kill.
But they do
the bad
die.
guys are making him kill. So is he actually a bad guy? Of course not. I don't think so.
No, I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but he's suck at his job if his job is to catch the monsters.
I mean, does he really suck? Because the monsters are really, 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 really bad.
But his job is to capture.
But how the fuck are you going to capture something that can't and won't stop?
But I didn't say the job was not hard.
That is very true.
That's the job, is to capture. So that became his reputation throughout the whole movie. Is like, oh, this is the famous Van Helsing, but he kills everybody. The Cardinal gives him his next task, which is to go get our good old buddy Dracula's. The story behind Dracula is that this warrior family promised God that his family won't enter heaven until they deal with Dracula. So now they're running out of time because they're running out of family members. And within that family lies Mija of all time, Kate Beckinsale. Of all time.
Making my ketchup ghostliness just shiver.
Nasty. He's also left a clue with an insignia that matches his very own ring. So there's like mystery there. So then we're introduced to his inventor, Compia Carl, who's making all of his gadgets.
Faramir.
He got a device that holds the power of the sun, but he doesn't know how to use it, which is ultimate foreshadowing for later. And he ends up tagging along. That crossbow that they were walking around with, that was like Van Helsing's main weapon, weighed 45 pounds.
Holy, no wonder Homeboy's jacked.
But it looks cool too. Like I like the aesthetics of everything.
Yeah, it's like all steampunk and stuff.
Yeah.
I love his wardrobe. His leather waistcoat and then the leather duster. Damn, he look good.
There was already like a couple jump scares at this point, and then I got jump scared again when the wolfie popped out.
Oh, that wolf popping out is pretty cool. These are one of the best looking werewolves I've seen on the movies. The design of them. Not the visuals, because the visuals, but the design I think is pretty cool.
They're bulkier. They kind of feels like a 90s cartoon design.
Yeah, that's true.
But doesn't Mija also deal with werewolves in the Underworld series?
Yep, but those werewolves are like kind of short snouted and kind of weird, and these ones look sexy.
You thought they looked sexy?
No, I mean they look way better than the Underworld ones.
They end up killing the wolfie, but the brother also falls into the water. I really like the set of the town, like the design is so it has its own style to it. It's like very quaint and very like of the time. I really like the design of the set.
Yeah, I think for what I know, they did not want to take that set apart because it was kick ass.
Starts to talk to the Mija, but can't really get into it that much because the vampire wives show up. This CGI didn't look bad to me. Is this bad?
Oh no, it looked pretty cool. What happens after is pretty bad. When one of the first vampire wives gets disintegrated.
Oh yeah,
just looked like dog shit.
That did not look good. But up until them flying and them fighting and then getting holes in their wings and all that looked really good.
Oh yeah, that looked amazing. Still holds up.
I really enjoyed the world that they were painting in this world, but
oh yeah, me too.
Unfortunately for Kate Beckinsale, she said that she hated the corset. I would imagine she had to wear that throughout the whole thing. And then when the film wrapped up, she said, "Burn it all."
Yeah, I would ask for the same thing.
I would feel like that too. So the vampire ladies turned into Mijas after a long fight, and there's like smoking hot Mijas all over the town. You're like, what the f- going on here? So they kill one with holy water, and this is what we were talking to. It does not look really great.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like a vampire thing that they're just connected with each other?
Yeah, I mean Dracula more than anything because he's the one who made them, so he is connected psychically with them. But
the other two knew that the other one got.
I don't know how that holds up.
I guess because they're like sister wives or whatever. I don't know.
Maybe.
End up flying away, but the townsfolk is pissed at him because they're like, oh great, they used to kill 2 people, now they're going to kill more out of revenge.
Just for spite.
Dracula is played by Richard Roxburgh, who I didn't like the Draculas. He felt cheesy to me.
I thought it was charismatic. I hope Van Helsing in like a warm place in my heart. I know it's not a good movie.
I think it is.
I accept it's not one of the great ones. But I like it. I like it a lot. And I think that one of the things is Dracula. Because Dracula is this kind of whimsical, over-the-top, charismatic motherfucker.
He came off as a nerd to me, though. He's not scary or menacing to me.
Hold on. The wig, dude? I hated the wig. Still hate it to this day.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
No, just make him a little bit more sleek. The costume design for this Dracula wasn't the best. They could have done better, but I liked him. I like the actor a lot.
It was too extra to me. To the point where he's like taking me out, and he looked like a punk. He didn't look scary, menacing. Like I think he literally just kills Frankenstein throughout the whole movie. He doesn't kill anybody else. I wish he was like a little bit more of a bastard, where he like get a townsfolk, kill him, do something like where you.
I mean, he throws and kills the guy.
But
well, I assume he kills the guy that sets him on fire.
But like murder more people, be more scary way. He kind of looked like a punk. I don't know. His henchmen did look really cool.
The Duergi.
Yeah, those guys, they look kind of cool. And he has them sending them to the village to go attack. This is like my major part that I did not enjoy from the movie. The whole family thing felt like it needed something else to make more sense and add another weight to it, because it's like, so what? This family doesn't kill him, and what? Anyone else can go hunt Dracula. You know, they needed a stronger link between Dracula and this family. Like maybe some sort of artifact that only that family has or something, because it's like, this family don't kill Dracula and they don't go to heaven. And who cares? Like, why does Dracula care?
I mean, not specifically Dracula. The thing is that Dracula had to die before the last member of the family died, or whatever.
For what?
For them to get into heaven. Because
so what?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Of course, they needed something to link him better.
Why does Dracula give a shit about Mija? Like, there's only one way he could die. They're not even close to coming to that. Even though there is, he's playing with fire, because he literally takes one of the family members and turns him into a werewolf. That's the big twist, that he can only die by a werewolf. So why would you turn the only person that wants to kill you into a werewolf? That's weird. If I'm Dracula, why do I care about these people? He was obsessed over Mija. Go get the Mija and kill her, and I want her. Why do you want her? Just keep doing your thing.
It would have made sense if only that family could have killed him.
Yeah, they had an artifact or something that belonged to him before the first time he died or something.
Or even because he's like a late ancestor of the Valerius.
Yeah. So some sort of heirloom to tie them together.
I mean, they're even tied by blood way. That could have been way better. Just blood. Hey, he's a family. He can only die by family hand. Sure.
But instead it's like, oh, my family's not going to go into heaven. Okay. Again, why should Dracula give a shit? He knows that they can't kill him. He knows the secret. It just, that whole family thing was very weak to me. Back in the movie, Helsing ends up knocking her out and takes her somewhere to be safe, where she wakes up and finds another wolfie that attacks her. And then she sees her brother is actually the wolfie. I did like him crawling up the wall. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
As he's like transforming. And I really liked how he transformed. Instead of just like hulking out and becoming a damn werewolf, he's like ripping his skin off, revealing the wolfie skin underneath. I thought that was really cool. And it looked good too.
That is something I have never seen before. And I saw American Werewolf in London, in Paris.
Well, Stephen Sommers deliberately chose to avoid seeing werewolf transformations to try to do something different. And he also felt like it's a whole thing about the werewolf stuff comes from within. So he made that skin reveal be that, him ripping it off, because inside you're a werewolf. So you're trying to reveal it that way. We're probably, 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes in the movie. There's been a lot of encounters so far. There's like a little bit of blah, blah, blah encounter. Little bit of blah, blah, blah encounter.
Dude, I forgot this movie was 2 hours long. In my head, this movie's always been like an hour 20, an hour 30.
No, it's just long as fuck.
It does not feel like it.
Well, there's a lot of spooky creature hunting, which I like. How do you feel about Mija's accent?
It wasn't great, but goddamn way.
If you close your eyes and you just listen, you're like, I don't know about that.
Before or after I stopped you from shooting him?
She would be great as like a Medusa character.
That is true. Because she makes you rock hard.
So anyway, Igor the trader over here helping out Dracula with his experiments, and he's using the bro as some sort of conductor, where there's some damn cocoons who are actually Dracula's children.
Oh, that was nasty.
Camera died, so shout outs to old school camera. So he starts sending shockwaves through the castle to activate the little vampiros. So the little vampiros are born, and he sends out his two baby mamas are out there hunting. Mija goes off to go save her brother while Van Helsing deals with Draculas. The little vampiros head over to the village to feed. Dracula gets stabbed in the heart with a stake And then he starts to call him Gabriel. But then we go back where Mija's saving her brother from the thing. And he's like, go away. Don't save me. Let me die. Then we cut back to Dracula talking to Van Helsing as if they're compas, but he don't remember. And it's revealed that he's been around for 300 years.
Mm-hmm. That cross setting on fire was like, oh.
Was he acting that it was burning him, or was it actually messing him up?
He was acting. I think so. I think the fire and the silver kind of hurt him.
Yeah, he was like, ah, and then it just went away. He's like, okay, well, so yeah, bitch, that don't work.
Yeah, I think it might have just stung him, but not like something, like he just wanted to mess with Van Helsing.
Well, then we cut over to the BBs just start to explode because why?
Because it's not Frankie.
But why? What does Frankie have that's so special that he's not human?
I think so.
Because Bro's not the right guy as a conductor, I guess. So Bro turns into a wolf after she sets him free and they have to escape. The way I was like breaking that down was weird because I felt like the action cuts in this is kind of annoying. They interrupt encounters with other encounters.
Ah, yeah, that was annoying.
It's really annoying because, like, the way I said it is what happens. Like Van Helsing, and then we cut to Mija, and then we cut to the babies, then we cut to Van Helsing, then we cut to Mija, then we cut to. So, I really preferred if they didn't interrupt the encounters with another encounter. I prefer if they were like, let's all deal with the Mija first. Let's see what the Mija does, then go over to Van Helsing, or then go over to the BBs. See what happens with the BBs. Then go over to, they cut it up like 6 times in this scene.
Yeah, the editing in the movie is kind of weird at places.
The inventor Carl, because he saved the Mija, wants to get it in as a reward.
Hell yeah, Carl.
And he kind of does.
Kinda.
He does.
He rocks her world.
But you can do that. You are a monk.
Well, actually, I'm just a friar.
So we cut back to Mija, who's mad because he couldn't kill Dracula, but she didn't tell him that he couldn't kill Dracula. So what you mad at?
No one knows how to kill Dracula.
I could have used that information a little earlier.
But they end up falling into a cave. But we cut back to the homie who reveals a painting onto wall that has some sort of riddle. And we cut back to them who are now
woken up.
Yeah, they're waking from what looks to be Frankenstein's monster's lair, and they start to fight. I really liked in this part when he bumps his head and you can see the inside of his head and he's like putting his head and face back together. That was really cool.
And it's not just the brain, it's the brain and a bunch of little stuff like spinning and doing stuff.
It's also revealed that Frankenstein is the key for Dracula's children to survive.
It was pretty cool that it said like Frankenstein's monster.
Monster! Who's the monster here?
And he just retaliates in the most British and beautiful way possible.
Yeah, he learned how to speak by living by himself after a year, I guess. Mm-hmm. I guess we touched upon that. So he wants Frankenstein because he's technically not a human, and that's going to help the BBs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so kill him, no?
I mean, yeah, but turns out Van Helsing can't because he had goody two shoes too.
Even himself, why wouldn't Frankenstein kill himself then? Because even he's like, I'm the key. He can't get me.
I mean, I know, I get why Frankenstein doesn't do it because he wants to be like a person. And as a person, and as a God-fearing man, he can't commit suicide because he's going to burn in hell. So I get why he doesn't do it. But when Van Helsing doesn't do it because, oh, he's a good person, it's like, what?
I mean, I get it. But even though he's not evil, his existence can create evil.
Yeah, that's why Van Helsing should have killed him.
We got to sacrifice you, my bruv. Ni pedo. But no, they're like, he deserves to live. So Bro Wolfie is up in the corner being a metiche and runs off to Tattletale, so now they know where Frankenstein is. So they head over to Rome to hide good old Frankie. I like how they depict darkness in the movie, even when it's like daytime is like blue.
Yeah.
I like the tint of blue that they use when it's dark out. I don't like when action happens and you can't see shit. In this one, they use that kind of blue tone so you can be able to see shit, because we see the vampire wives show up and grab Van Helsing while he's in the carriage. But it was a dummy carriage carrying explosives and stakes. So when it explodes, it takes out yet another vampira wife.
A la Monica Bellucci looking bitch.
Yeah, it did look like Monica Bellucci, but it wasn't Bellucci.
Mm-mm.
They're all smoking hot, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
So Wolfie Bro shows up, and they're about to fall down, and Frankie's all shackled up, and he sets them free to save them from death. But the carriage catches on fire, so they have to ditch it. And in the ditching, Van Helsing shoots Bro. So he starts to turn into a human. Ese way, he was fine too, way.
Who?
El carnal, the brother de la mija. It made sense. It's like, okay, yeah, both of you are siblings. Definitely. You're
good genetics.
Smoking hot. So Mija's pissed, even though she knew what was going to happen. So why are you pissed?
You
He's not my brother anymore.
It's revealed that Van Helsing was actually bitten by a wolfie. So the other vampira shows up and takes Mija away and offers a trade for Frankie. Mija for Frankie. Van Helsing is like, Simon, knocks out Frankie and hides him out somewhere safe because he's got 48 hours before he turns himself into a wolfie.
Which that one was weird also because allegedly no vampire or minion, unless he's a human, I think can like step on consecrated ground. They got ghouls at the cemetery, which is not supposed to happen.
It wasn't ghouls, it was Igor, no?
No, it was a ghoul, not Igor.
It was Igor in the crypt.
Neta, it was Igor?
Well, that's who shows up at the party with him.
I don't think it was Igor. I think it was one of the Dracula's little minions.
So we cut to the masquerade party where Mija's dancing and I'm confused and he's like trying to kiss her and everything and was like, oh, he's controlling her. That's why. I like that you can see no one's reflection. You know, it's meant to show the fact that he doesn't have a reflection, but you realize nobody else in the party is there.
At the beginning, there's a mirror and you can see everybody in the mirror.
Oh, before that?
I was like, I can see everybody. But you know why vampires couldn't reflect on mirrors?
No.
Because mirrors way back in the day were just polished silver. And since silver is one of the purest metals, and that's why silver can kill a vampire, that's why it doesn't reflect their evilness.
So I didn't catch that mirror thing. And I also didn't catch right before Dracula says, and I give you Van Helsing, right? You can hear trumpets play the first musical phrase from the Dracula... From the Castle Dracula from Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Oh, yeah.
So Igor shows up with Frankie as Van Helsing swoops in and saves Mija. So technically the trade happened, but neither of them were going to give up their side. Dracula sends the party after them. So he starts chasing them. And Carl busts out his bomb thingy that we mentioned before and blows everybody up.
His daylight bomb.
Van Helsing starts to show a glimpse of his transformation. He starts like growling and shit. And they also start to explain that Dracula was first killed years ago, but then made a deal with the devil, so he came back, but needing the blood of others to survive. And he was also an ancestor of Mija's, and they killed him the first time, but then he came back. And because their family failed in killing him, they had to make a promise as forgiveness. And they also left clues for other generations to find a portal to Dracula. Kind of too much. Yeah, kind of too much. No, like that's what you could come up with.
Yeah, that info dump was too much at the end.
And then it's like, I found the map after I was and then he turns the map around.
Simon.
And conveniently enough, it's missing a piece that homie already had. It was kind of sloppy, but whatever. They go through the portal and go to Casa Dracula.
Mi casa, not su casa.
And then it's also revealed that the only thing that can kill Dracula is a werewolf, which is kind of convenient since our homie is turning into a werewolf. So he gotta kill Dracula before the last stroke of midnight and then cure him. If not, he stays a werewolf forever.
Yup, basically.
But then the time thing didn't really become a factor later on in the movie. So what was the point of that?
Trying to give it like time sensitivity, which I mean, again, it made no sense.
So the procedure starts to give life to his children through Frankenstein, find the traitor Igor walking around, and he takes him to the room where there's a cure and locks him in the room where the final vampira wife is there to fight versus Mija. But of course, we're going to get a bunch of edits and cuts before that. We're not going to get that fight now. We cut to Igor chasing Compa with an electrical pole, but then we cut again to Helsing to start to free Frankenstein, and the first shock starts. The children get released, and Frankie falls and conveniently knocks down Igor off the bridge, and we cut back to Mija versus the vampire Mija, and after a few putazos, we cut again to Frankie holding on, trying to want to live. So Carl helps him and makes him swing, and he swings through the window, and then he cuts into Mija's fight. There, it made a little bit of sense because Frankie gets involved. But again, there's just a lot of cuts back and forth, man. You can't follow one story when they switch it up on you. So it is also revealed that the children of Dracula will die once Dracula himself dies.
Which makes a lot of sense.
So Van Helsing starts to transform into a wolfie. I really wanted him to be Wolverine, but okay, whatever.
Basically.
A CGI fight starts. It didn't look that ass. It looked okay.
Yeah, it should look pretty fun. And you could kind of follow what was happening.
Yeah, but again, they cut again away to Frankie, says that he's going to stay behind to fight Vampira Lady. But then we cut to Mija doing some acrobatic stuff, and somehow Vampira Wifey just catches up to Mija. And then she kind of delivers a meh death line.
I think if you're going to kill someone, kill them. Don't stand there talking about it.
All that should have happened way before Van Helsing transformed.
Yeah, we didn't need the cuts in between. You can show all that. You can show all the Mija adventure, right? And that line, it's not like one of the worst lines ever. It just, I felt like it felt kind of flat. It didn't hit particularly well.
Yeah, you could have just said, "Don't talk, just kill." Yeah,
or say nothing, or just like a quick "shut up" or a quick "you talk too much" or something else.
Oh, and that actor, "you talk too much." Oh, damn.
But we cut back to Helsing, where it's revealed that he was actually the hand of God who killed Dracula the very first time. And he says this because the moon goes away, so he's back into human form. So the moon comes back, so he starts to become a wolfie again and just charges at him, bites his neck, and kills Dracula. He dead now.
Yeah, that was very anticlimactic.
Yeah, he just bites him and we're dead now. So, but now we have it no problem. Van Helsing is a wolfie. Mija shows up. He pushes Mija, and in that struggle, Mija stabs him with the antidote, and Mija like passed out. And I thought Mija was gonna wake up and be like, "I'm good, Tatan." No way, Mija dead. Why?
Oh, did you catch that when Van Helsing was turning into a human, his shorts were CGI?
Yeah, because he was naked in that scene.
Oh, that's why? I was like, why the hell is he wearing CGI shorts?
Because his ass was out during filming.
If I'm getting paid by working in the movie and I get to see Homeboy's ass, I'm like, damn, son.
So they end up cremating her because she actually died. And then Frankenstein leaves in a dinky ass little boat. Did you see the little boat?
Was it a boat or was it like a makeshift raft?
3 tree trunks or something and some rope. It looked really dinky.
Mm-hmm.
But then her spirit comes out and is like, "Oh, thank you, I can go to heaven now." But I'm like, Mija, you don't have to die. Like, why did they kill you? Like, you have so much life to live. Like,
you should be.
See, wait, don't die. No, do I want her to be alive because she's smoking hot? Yeah, that's the main reason why I want her to survive while she's literally smoking hot behind them because they burned her ass.
That's a good one.
but I thought the character was cool. I thought she was cool.
Yeah, she's a badass without being this Mary Sue.
And it's like she's a badass because her family's whole purpose is to kill Dracula. So they obviously trained her. They didn't tell us that.
Mm-hmm. It's implied.
Yeah.
It's subtext.
Yeah, we didn't get a flashback of her as a girl hunting shit. We didn't need that. She's just a badass.
We didn't get a montage.
Yeah, we didn't get a montage. But we know she's a badass. We understand that. Even though, like, yes, does she carry around a sword and looks badass? Yes. Does she ever use that sword against anybody? Absolutely not. But it doesn't matter.
Wait, what the f***? That is true.
She don't stab anybody. She don't use it. She's like, that's her weapon. That's her main weapon, but she never uses it against anybody.
It's hilarious that the only time she draws the sword to use it is at the beginning to cut a rope.
Yeah, she didn't really kill anybody with it. It did get lit up by critics when this came out. They thought this was going to launch like a bunch of Van Helsing adventure movies.
It would have been cool. I'm not going to lie.
But the reviews were so bad and the box office returns were very low, far from expectations, that all plans for sequels will drop within 7 days of the opening of the film.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't think it was that bad, man. Like, yes, did I shit on it a little bit? Yeah, sure, because there's some stuff that don't make sense. But if you clean that up, like, it's a pretty great movie, actually. I thought the action was fun. The cast is great. Visually, it had some hit and miss parts. Yeah, it sounds like the critics were super harsh on this movie.
I know Daredevil is a bad movie. I love it, and I always mention it. I know, but it's not that. This one's pretty good. The editing is shit, though, but it's pretty good.
They did treat it like it was like the worst thing ever. They even had a spin-off television series that was pitched to NBC. It was going to be called Transylvania, and it was going to feature like a Wild West sheriff walking around Europe battling monsters and kind of shit, you know? Every once in a while, Hugh Jackman as Gabriel Van Helsing was going to pop up. But that whole idea was scrapped because the budget for the makeup and a bunch of other stuff was too high, and because of how awful it did on the box office. It sounds like it like lost a bunch of money, but it really didn't. Like it just wasn't where they were expecting the whole thing to be at. The movie ended up making over $300 million. They made half of that on its first week of DVD release.
Yeah, because back in the day, DVD home releases were also counted in the revenue. So they said, okay, you know what? We made $300 million on the box office, but also in the DVD releases, we're going to earn a bunch of more money.
They made another $150. My dad bought it. I don't know why my dad bought it, but he bought it. Honestly, I think he got it off the Blockbuster bin, but still he bought it. It's weird that they pull the plug because it does feel like there was potential there, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like a serialized shit.
Some sort of series, man. Like there was a lot of stuff then, and then even in 2009, a Van Helsing reimagining was announced by Universal, and it was supposed to be directed by Guillermo del Toro, and starring a crazy bastard in Tom Cruise as Van Helsing, but that just never formed into anything. He's a crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying no.
I'm like, oh, get a real vampire and I murder it on screen.
Did you know that animated movie, a prequel to this, but like a direct prequel? This was released. I got that one, and it's like the case of Dr. Jekyll. Like the ending of that animated movie directly drops off where this movie starts.
Yeah, because it's like, why is he in Paris or whatever? So I imagine it explains that, because Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is a very popular London folklore, right? English folklore. And he mentions it. Oh, I've been chasing you all around London or whatever.
Yep.
So I'm sure that this prequel covers that.
Yeah, and it's voiced by the same actors that do this movie.
In the ether, like it sounded like it wasn't that great, but I feel like in pop culture wise, it developed a little bit of a cult following. I feel like, no?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because like the setting is really cool. I like that, like old Victorian towns and all that, and you got the old school spooky creature thing, and he's running around hunting it. It's like, that's very interesting, man. The I really like the gadgets.
Oh yeah, that was pretty dope.
The fighting is there.
Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman is a huge presence in this movie.
Yeah, that's there too.
The guy is huge. He's 6'3", but his charisma like dominates the screen. Then we got the Anna Valerius, smoking hot woman that actually plays very interesting because they don't like each other very much since the start of the movie. I mean, they did not have a good relationship, and you kind of feel that bloom.
Yeah.
Contrary to what you think, I did like Dracula. The whole world felt like something tangible. It was way ahead of its time.
It was planned to have a bunch of other stories, but you could easily have him hunting other stuff and possible crossovers. Like, there's a lot of potential for the IP, and even like him hunting creatures. What the hell does that sound like? That sounds like The Witcher. That was a successful series. Like, they had
for the first season, actually.
It's successful as much as you
I bitch about it. Yeah,
it's successful. There's 3 seasons. They're still going. They're changing the guy, but it sounds familiar to something that's going on today. Like,
yeah, it's like a bunch of shit, like Bloodborne, The Witcher, Supernatural. It's almost the same thing, just in Victorian times.
It's sad that they felt it was a failure. I don't think it was. As a movie, is fun.
There's a bunch of movies that were worse than this.
Yes, that's the thing too. Our perspective has changed because we've seen a bunch of crap from back then, and now that's like, it's actually not that bad. Yeah, you tweak these things that we bitched about, and you probably have something that's pretty fantastic.
Yes, I hope in that like underground cult following, somebody edited this movie way better.
Yeah. But yeah, those are our thoughts. So of course, let us know down in the comments what you think about Van Helsing and the potential and any other things. Van Helsing. Let us know down in the comments. I'm going to link for you another Hugh Jackman films. It's actually 3 of them. The X-Men trilogy. I don't know if you've heard of it before. I'll link Deadpool. I'll leave that for you over here as well. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to always and forever, you do you.
Bye.